Hello all, Stacy the Black Feather Intuitive, and welcome to Divinely Decked Tarot and Oracle Reviews done Stacy style. And today we are doing another blind deck date, and I'm very excited to be exploring this one. I pulled a tarot deck that I work with on a regular basis, and I pulled an oracle deck that I haven't pulled out in at least a year. So I have no idea how this is going to go. And without further ado, let's get to it. So we are going to be watching a blind deck date with Tarot of the Divine by Yoshi Yoshitani and Pamela Steele's Eternal Seeker Oracle. Now, I have not looked at this in at least a year, it might be two. I remember really loving the imagery. There's not a whole lot to the deck itself. I think it's only like 25 or 30 cards. It's very small. But let's just sort of see how the imagery is going to work. And we are, of course, doing drinks. We are non-committal. We don't want to do anything more than drinks at this point. And let's just sort of see what the experience is. Look at this ginormous thing for these tiny cards. It's just crazy. Sometimes I think that the deck creators get a little overzealous, especially because it's hard to store them. But okay, here we are. And you know what? I'm going to actually reverse them because of the glare. So I live in the desert, and believe it or not, in the desert, we are having a overcast, rainy day today. It's very unusual, but yeah, so my lighting is a little bit weird. Okay, so first impressions, and looking at these two decks, I'm actually kind of impressed with the coloring. They are similar in color. We've got blues. We've got blues and greens, or blues and teals, that are in the mix. This is bordered. This one is not. This one is on a linen cardstock. So it is kind of like a sateen finish, and this definitely has some sheen to it. It is a regular sized oracle deck. This is a typical sized tarot deck. I'm loving that it's accented with blacks and whites. This has a little bit of black in the center, and there's a little bit of white. Here we've got the nautilus shells, and we've got a lot of spherical energy. We've got the moon phases here that are represented. So card backs on first blush, this actually looks pretty good. All right, so now they're drinking and they're getting to know one another. Let's see how we do. So here we have the Page of Wands. And we have the Oracle. And the first thing I'm drawn to is the fact that each figure is facing the same way. Their legs are even shaped similarly, like her legs are apart where her front leg, she's kind of leaning out towards the front. This one is dancing out towards the front. She has two things in her hands. She's got some material in her hand with I want to say fog or smoke coming out, and she's got smoke coming out of her hand on the other side here. Here she's got a whip of some kind, and it looks like a shuck of some kind. She's connected to the bananas. I don't know her folklore. I don't know her story specifically, but she's got things in her hands. And her background here, the Oracle, she actually feels like a little bit like the High Priestess. Under the moon, these two white salt pillars, and some buildings and imagery in the background. Here, her pillars are the banana trees. So two banana trees on either side. So I think that's really interesting. From a visual perspective, there are a lot of similarities. This is not a bordered deck. This is a bordered deck, so there is that difference, and this is based in white. So far, we don't have a lot of white coming through in this, but I do feel that there's a lot of similarity here, so I don't feel like they're mad at each other. Let's keep going. Divine Feminine. This is a 4, and we have the Two of Coins. Sorry. So the Two of Coins, she's balancing her fur baby and her human baby in both arms. She's looking like she's a bit frustrated because she's got this tiny little patch of grass. It looks like she's got to get somewhere, but she's got all of this, sort of these bushes and berries and brambles in the way. And she needs to take both of these babies with her. So how does she go about doing that, right? Here we have the divine feminine. Also in the center of the card, here we have some beautiful opening in the background. We see a lot in the background. Here we see a lot in the foreground. Red bushes, red flowers in the bushes at the front of the card. I think that's really interesting. She also has tattoos on her legs, not tattoos of a fish. But that would have been really freaking cool and totally bizarre if there was that synergy. But I am seeing creatures on the lower half of the card. So there's similarity there. There's a lot happening on the lower half. Here in the upper half, everything is in shadow, whereas everything is sort of brightened up here. She is holding things in her hands as well as she is holding things in hers. So I feel, again, a lot of synergy in the balance of the cards. So there is a lot of energy here. That divine feminine energy, the 4 and the 2 of coins, she's looking for balance in her life and she's trying to find balance in hers. Here we have Intuition 21, absolutely gorgeous. There's a little beaver here next to her. I think that's so cute. And here we have the 9 of Wands. So she is sitting looking at the moon and she's turning back to us. So sitting and twisting. This one isn't twisting, but she is faced where her head is twisting a little bit. They're both looking in the same direction. They're both turned with a similar focus. Here she has flowers next to her in the background. Here she has some flowing water and, that little beaver that is there, which I think is really, really cute. They both are wearing their hair tied back, which I think is also interesting. 9 of Wands, she's got all of these skulls that are on fire that she has been working with, and she's got her house in the background. It's at night, but we do not see the moon. And here the moon is the main focus. So there is still some similarity in what we've got going on here, trees and trees. But there is enough of a difference that I feel like they're holding their own. We'll do a couple more here. First impressions. Here we have the Hope card. We've got this beautiful peace dove. And it looks like she's getting ready to fly to her eggs. To check on her eggs to be perched in her nest. And the only color that we see outside of the gray with a little bit of white highlighted and the white in the eggs is the fall colors. We've got these yellow and red and slightly orange leaves. So I feel a lot of chakra color energy here. The root, the sacral, the solar plexus chakra, those lower chakras. And I find that interesting because here in the Temperance card, those are the colors that are being featured here as well. We've got the reds, the oranges, and the yellows. Temperance is about balance, tolerance, acceptance. And I feel that pairs along very well with hope. So this deck, I feel, is going to bring a lot of hope. And this deck also brings a lot of that tolerance, awareness, acceptance, bringing the alchemy to help you with hope, bringing the balance that sometimes hope requires, in that regard. No birds in this picture. We have a bird that is the focal point with the eggs. Here we have, I believe this is a version, if I'm not mistaken, of Kuan Yin. The woman with many arms or 1,000 arms or something like that. I believe it's Kuan Yin, but I could be wrong on that. And each hand has something different to offer. So in a way, and her toe is dipped in the water. So in a way, she's sitting in her space. She has a lot of offers. People come to her. People fly to her. Mama has to fly away from the nest to get what it is that she needs. And then she brings it back to the nest. So I want to say they're a little bit opposite in their approach, but they are bringing things. They do have things that they nurture and things that they are in service to. This will be the last one here. We've got Harmony, which is the title picture of the deck. and the Knight of Coins, or the Knight of Pentacles. How interesting that the cow is the one that's looking directly at us. So I'm drawn to the cow, not the knight. I'm drawn to the form of transportation, the getting from point A to point B, rather than drawn to the knight himself. Here with the Harmony card, we have one single angel taking up the center of the picture. There's a little bit of greenery. She's sitting on green earth. There is water that is making up her garment, if you will. Water pouring out of her, pouring through her. Her hair is water, and then it's cascading down and around her body. She is sitting in a yoga pose, a meditative pose, wings unfurled. And that's my cat's destroying something, so give me a moment. And I'm back, and Morpheus knocked over the laundry rack that I have and spilled out, everything that's on there. So I had a little mess to clean up, but here I am. And back to our blind deck date. I feel with this on first impressions, I definitely feel that they are going to go from first drink to appetizers at this point, but I definitely do see where some of the differences are lying, especially with this. We've got that harmony energy, a little more, I want to say a little more spiritual in nature, from that angelic perspective, higher frequency, more shamanistic energy. From this one takes his time. There's that patience, there's that lollygagging kind of energy where the cow is like, all right, let's just get a move on. Like, can't we just move along? Tell me where to go. Let's find something to do. And the harmony is about, I want to sit and meditate. I want to be in that high vibe space. So I feel like there's enough difference here that it's going to make it interesting. So let's move on now we'll focus on appetizers. Sorry, first day with my new tongue. Okay, so shuffling these up, let's get the shared vibe on what's going on between these two. What chemistry emerges when their voices blend? Where is the spark for these two? And I feel like they like each other. There's definitely enough commonality here, so we'll see what happens. We'll see what comes up as a result of this. Ooh, interesting. So first of all, I love the colors. I feel like the colors actually are very coordinating. We have a lot of that teal, and she's got teal in her gown. We have some reds that are around the globe itself. She's got red in her outfit as well. She's got two beautiful coins in the Page of Coins, two deer or elk that are here. She's got, once again, that beautiful horizon with the sun rising, mountains in the back. Instead of the sun here, I feel like it's the energy that is rising from the globe, the earth. We have the all-seeing eyes that are coming up here. And instead of the sun, we have, think Aurora Borealis, think nebulous energy, what is outside of our earthly plane and our earthly energy. So I feel like right away there's great sparks here. Once again, this Page of Coins energy, someone who's very curious, but maybe just takes their time, is a little bit patient with how things go. They're not in a huge rush. They want to understand their environment. They want to understand the part that they play in their environment. And this one is all about attainment, achieving, do, let's go higher, let's get out. I feel like this deck, the Eternal Seeker Oracle, is more the, I want to say, the extrovert, and this one is maybe a little more introverted, or just, I want to say, a little more easygoing. And this one has a lot of clear direction, clear path, knows where it's wanting to go. I feel like they can, really complement one another, no matter what goes on. This one likes this one, and this one likes this one. Their energies match. Even I'm seeing there are purple and pink and yellow flowers, and we have purple and pink energy here below, all in the same area of the card as well. So they match one another. They really do match one another. They may come at things, from not opposite ends of the spectrum, but from slightly different approaches. But all of the fundamentals are there. All of the right colors and synergy is there. Ooh, I love that. Okay. What's the clash? Where might their personalities challenge each other or cause tension? Feeling like that's the one that wants to talk. Yeah, I'm thinking this is actually a really clever pairing. I take no credit for the clever pairing. I just, grabbed one deck A and grabbed deck B. Interesting. So the second this one starts talking about that higher guide wisdom, that higher energy stuff, wants to get out of the earthly plane and get up into the stratosphere. This one says, well, I don't really necessarily want to release, my earthly stuff. So if you notice, like, the phoenix is flying down into the earth, not flying up. So I feel like where they would clash is, again, this one's looking up. This one wants to be, in that higher vibe energy, that higher vibe frequency. This one wants to bring this one along. And I feel like the phoenix is kind of like, listen, that's all fine and good, but you need oxygen to have a fire, and I'm the phoenix. So if we go too high, I can't exist there. My fire burns out, and my whole purpose for being, my existence for being, just disintegrates. So I feel like where they clash is in that, maybe this one's going to need to do some more things solo, and this one can participate, but only goes so far. Can only go as far as it can go. I feel like in terms of like complementing one another, where we talked about that's, where the spark is, when they clash, I feel like it's really a matter of, like, when the guidance comes through, it's understanding that this is going to temper this guidance. So whatever the oracle says based on the tarot's message, the oracle is always going to encourage you to go big or go home. And this one is going to say, well, don't forget your roots. So there absolutely will be a little friction in the ways that you receive guidance from this particular pairing. But I don't know that it's necessarily going to be, bad enough that you can't have that connection at all. I still feel like there's a lot going on here that's really good, really fun. So I feel like we've moved on to maybe some dinner. We've decided to actually have dinner, not just appetizers, but we're moving on to the main course. So hidden layers. What unexpected truth does one card deck bring out in the other? Well, this is going to be interesting. No, it's that one. Ooh, 9 of Cups. And the elder gods. Oh, interesting. So the truth, the reality is that this one absolutely loves to have fun, wants to be included. I want to say has a lot of FOMO, wants to be the first one to be considered, the first one to step up to the plate, not because of ego, more so I want to say because they really believe that the way that they deliver their message, this card deck delivers its message, has a lot of weight and merit, has a lot of value, can give you information in a somewhat playful way. This deck here, we've had all this upper weighty pie in the sky, and now all of a sudden we've got an elder god. We've got the, like shamanistic kind of like earthy, he's wearing the horns on his head, and he's carrying the torch, which is made of wood, and he's got the elk horn, that kind of thing. So this one actually, I feel like, got its roots in that shamanistic energy, and it's in the process of growing. So it's always wanting to encourage this deck to go higher, but it also does understand why this deck is the way that it is, where it comes from, wanting to sort of stay in its roots. So I feel like that when we're talking about hidden truths, I feel like this deck is really going to be able to give you good meat and potatoes from both sides, like giving you both sides of the story and really being informed in that way. This deck, I want to say, is a little bit more informed than this one. But this deck can learn a lot from letting go, having fun, keeping things a little bit more grounded in nature, reminding this one that we are here to have a human experience. So the messaging is going to be earthier, going to be more of a practical nature. And this one is going to give you all the spiritual stuff, all the ways to ascend and to ascend quickly. Very cool. All right, future date potential. If these two card decks keep working together, what kind of guidance are they going to co-create? Little guidance babies. Oh my God. Okay. Ooh, well, that's the one. Interesting. Oh, I just said little guidance babies, and here we have a little child. That is too funny. So yes, new birth. Letting your heart sing, singing out. That King of Wands energy says, yeah, I've been there, done that, and bought the t-shirt, but I am all fire. Don't forget that. I need oxygen in order to be all that I can be. So yeah, we're going to make little guidance babies. We're going to have a great time, but we also need to understand that we come from slightly different worlds, or where you're going, there are aspects of that I'm not necessarily going to go with you. It doesn't mean that what I have to offer doesn't matter. It means it complements it, and it gives you that thing that you can strive for. I feel like the Eternal Seeker Oracle is always going to give you something more to strive for. And the Tarot of the Divine is always going to say, how do you apply it to right now? How do we connect to this right now? Wow. Oh my goodness, guys. Okay, so that is our tarot blind deck date for the Tarot of the Divine and the Eternal Seeker Oracle. And this is really interesting. I definitely feel here that we're going to have some more dates. And I actually personally am really excited to explore this particular combo, because I like the fact that we have the as above, so below kind of energy, but also that this deck was really speaking to where else can you go? How can you branch out? How can you go bigger than what you know to be your truth right now? And this one says, there's nothing wrong with my truth right now. We can explore, absolutely, but we also are here to live a life in this body on this planet Earth. So it's definitely going to give you some grounding. It's going to keep you grounded. And I feel like for those star seeds who maybe struggle a little bit where that's concerned, this card combo might actually give you a bit of encouragement and reinforcement, that's the word I'm looking for, reinforcement, to understand that it feels like forever while we're here, but it's really a blip on the map. And so take advantage of it while you've got it. All right, guys, that is our blind deck date for this segment of Divinely Decked. As always, sending you guys so much love and support. Please put in the comments anything that you're thinking about these videos. I would love to get some feedback to make sure that, I think they're great. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying doing it, but maybe you guys think it sucks. I don't know. Would love to get a little bit of feedback. Click the like button, share it if you want, comment. Let's have a chat about it. Until we see each other again, I'll see you on the flip side, and transform well. That's our show for today. I hope you enjoyed it. It was great to connect with you guys. Please like, subscribe, and comment for more content like this. And feel free to follow me on Blue Sky for even more content every single day. Can't wait to see you guys next week for another installment of Black Feather Couture, Divining the VIP Life.